Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Rainmakers Roundup. I am your host, Mark Iorio, and today I have with me Brian Zaslow and Gary Kurtis from Seal the Deal Sales Coaching. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Great. Happy to be
Gary,
here.
Gary, you were here a while back, a
Yeah,
couple
about
years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, talking about your business, which was
Sales Tips 101.
yep, sales, and you're
coaching.
still doing that a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you and Brian formed a partnership a couple years back.
We did.
Or a year back, right?
Yeah.
Talking about franchising.
Yeah, so it really, the two words that come to mind, Mark, are evolution. It evolved from what we both do. I have my sales coaching. Brian has his marketing company.
Yep.
And it evolved from the two of us. And then the other word is collaboration. We collaborated because we really understand the benefits of collaborating between marketing and sales. And we saw a need, and we validated the need. It took us a year to validate it, and we validated the need and built the program.
When you say validated the need, what did you go through? What were the kinds of research, due diligence that you went through, Brian?
Sure. We saw an opportunity in the market to help franchisees do a better job of selling.
Yeah.
And what we learned was there weren't many other companies that were doing that. When you look at Google franchise sales, it's all about franchisors selling more franchises. What we wanted to do was help someone who purchased a franchise do a better job of selling their core product. So our due diligence involved talking to franchisees, talking to franchisors, and talking to other folks that are affiliated with the industry. I could also, Mark, use my own experience because I used to be a multi-location franchisee. So I understand what other franchisees have gone through. And we learned that there was a great opportunity to support franchisors in the way that they provide selling skills to franchisees and complement what they do in their initial training.
Yeah. So when a franchisee purchases a franchise,
Yeah.
they usually have a whole package of things that the franchisor is providing them, right?
Correct.
They're, sales, marketing, equipment, the whole bit.
Correct.
Isn't sales a part of that?
It's a part of it, but it's a very small part of it because there's
Okay.
so much, and Brian knows this, as he mentioned, from being a franchisee.
Yeah.
There's so much that's involved. You make that huge investment. You're buying a business.
Yeah.
There's so much you have to know, you have to learn in a very quick period of time. That yes, sales is part of it, but it's a very small part of it initially. And then the other thing that we discovered is that once you get back home from the training, you just swallowed from the fire hose, get everything that you've had to absorb, there's no ongoing help. Now you have to go out and you have to get clients,
Yeah.
and there's no ongoing help for you.
Yeah.
There was nothing in that
Yeah.
way.
Why do you think that is? Why is the franchisor not providing that deep level of sales training and sales help?
Well, in some cases, it depends upon the size of the franchisor.
Yeah.
I think as franchisors get larger and build a system and can afford more personnel, they develop a training department, they develop a sales training team.
Okay.
However, with emerging brands, let's say someone that's new to being a franchisor and maybe has 5, 10, 15, 30 franchises, they may not have the infrastructure to take a deep dive in helping their franchisees with sales training.
Yeah.
So what they can do is outsource that to us. And we help franchisors in that manner do a better, deeper job because selling skills are really our core competency and the key thing that we focus on.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the process that Seal the Deal sales coaching goes through, Gary, with finding new opportunities. You just had one yesterday on LinkedIn, which was really cool.
Yeah,
That's a nice business.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's a cool business.
Pro Lift Garage Doors.
Yeah.
We just announced it yesterday,
Yeah.
as you acknowledged.
Yeah. So talk about how do you two, you and Brian, go out and market Seal the Deal sales coaching?
A lot of it has been through a lot of networking.
Yeah.
We're in a lot of networking groups anyway from our core businesses, so that made
Right.
it easy, that we knew a lot of people, and, so some of it came from networking, some of it obviously will evolve over time from social media.
Yep.
It's a combination of a lot of things. Do you have anything
Yeah.
you want to add?
Yeah, we focused on trying to find people that had a need. We've been talking with the same folks we did our due diligence with.
Okay.
And going back to them and now saying, based upon what we learned from you, we've developed this model. We have a value proposition that we think will help people. And a lot of times it's their clients or their affiliates. So now, since they helped us, we want to help them.
Yeah.
And we're getting introductions to some of the folks that they know in the franchising industry.
Yeah.
And we've also now started dipping our toe into attending some industry trade shows and going to some franchise industry events.
Yeah. What are some of the surprises you guys are finding when you're talking to franchise owners with regard to sales?
I wouldn't say it's a surprise. I think it's more a validation, Mark, that we're really validating that most of these folks that get into it, they really realize when we talk about what we do and the need for selling skills,
Yeah.
most of them right away say, you're absolutely right, particularly people that are, whether they're consultants or they're in the franchise space in some capacity, they all acknowledge right away, you know what, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There is no one out there that's doing what you guys do.
Do they feel like they're in over their heads when, you know, you're talking to them and they feel like, wow, I had no idea that I had to go out and actually sell?
Well, we have a really specific process where we can teach our sales techniques.
Yeah.
And it really is aligned with, let's say, eight sessions where we have from a menu of selling topics. We'll learn what they need the most and we'll provide that to them. But what we
Yeah, that's
found in
great.
two cases is one is people know they really need it, and maybe in some cases they're still not willing to pull the trigger, or in other cases they never understood that there was a real specific process and they just thought they could just go talk to people.
Yeah.
But don't understand that there's real techniques and a method to our madness in terms of trying to make someone a better salesperson.
Yeah. How did you two fellas meet one another? What was?
Networking.
Oh, really? No
Yeah, we're
kidding.
in a networking group. We met at least 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we knew each other. And then it started with me. I have a couple of clients from my own sales consulting business
Yeah.
that were franchisees. And I saw from firsthand experience that they had the same struggles that others had. And then we started talking, and Brian, with his franchise background, we started thinking, you know what, we should look into this.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, we spent a year validating it and doing our homework before we rolled it out
Yeah.
earlier this year.
One of the things that I think I like about working with Gary is that our skills are complementary.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've worked in a variety of industries. I've worked in advertising agency world for many years. I worked in corporate marketing at Aramark. And there I really learned how if you can integrate sales and marketing together, it really it optimizes them both.
Yeah, yeah.
And I supported sales teams at Aramark, and I found that if you can really do that together, it makes for a better product. It improves sales. Marketing really drives sales, and I look at sales as a marketer, as my internal clients, the sales team. And that's really how we put this together with our complementary skills that we thought, finding that niche in terms of the franchisee, you know, helping franchisors with their franchisees was a good way for us to get together. And, you know, knowing each other from networking, we knew we would be able to do this together, and
Yeah.
it's worked out well.
It's smart because a lot of times, I mean, you may have had this experience differently than I did, Brian, but you know, typically sales and marketing are not as symbiotic in an organization. And the fact that the two of you have had this experience over the years together and then going to help franchise owners is really it's a cool business.
My experience is kind of just the opposite of Brian's. So I spent 4 decades in sales and sales management dealing with the marketing folks.
You don't look like you.
And-
4 decades?
And I've had some great marketing folks, and I've had some terrible ones.
Yeah, of
where,
course,
they give
yeah.
you the product, and they say, guys, you got to go sell it.
Yeah.
And we say, well, you don't understand. Did you ever talk to our clients to make sure that this is something that they need, and
Mm-hmm.
so forth? So it's been both good and bad, but it gave me a really great appreciation for the benefits and the importance of collaborating between marketing
Yeah,
and sales.
that's great.
You needed me in your companies, Gary.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you needed. That's right.
right.
So talk a little bit about the target audience for Seal the Deal sales coaching, because it's not, just make it crystal clear, it's not retail.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's Franchises that selling is essential. They have to go out and get clients. It's a lot of your home service businesses. You can list
Yeah.
off, we've got a whole list of them.
It's home services, it's healthcare, it's health, beauty, fitness, it's technology, it's business to business. But it's anyone who has to identify customers, meet them, have an appointment, create an estimate, give them a proposal, and then get them to essentially seal the deal.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at non-brick and mortar businesses that are out there that have to make selling as a critical part of their business. And what we're looking to do is while we work with franchisees directly, we also, and our goal is to work with franchisors, as I mentioned, be their outsourced sales resource, whether it's when franchisees come in for their initial training, or if it's to help challenged franchisees who have joined the system, but they're not achieving what we know they can achieve, or the franchisor identifies that. And it's usually from emerging brands that have, either from startup to maybe about 50, 75 franchise locations is kind of a sweet spot for us.
Yeah. What do you, Brian, mostly, what do you see as some of the bigger failures in franchisees and why they're not as successful as they could be?
Well, when you buy a franchise, you're buying a system and you're buying a brand name.
Yeah.
So the most important thing a franchisee can do is follow the franchisor's system. Follow the processes that they've set up, which you chose to buy. And the ones who are not successful are either the ones who don't follow the process and think they can do it on their own. So instead of it being ProLift, they think it's Brian's garage door system.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I think following the system that you bought is most important.
Yeah.
And then making a commitment to it and working hard and not thinking that just because you have leads, they're going to convert into sales, for example.
Yeah.
That you have to go out and do the work. And nothing's easy. So I think you really have to work at it. And those that work at it, usually you find reap the rewards.
So you mentioned, kind of, not tongue in cheek, but truthfully, that you've been doing this for 4 decades, right?
I've been doing sales for 4
Well,
decades.
yeah, right. And Brian, you're even an adjunct professor at Temple University, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
But here you are, right? We're about the same age, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Where's the passion coming from? Why do you love what you're doing? I mean, this is really kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know what? Before you answer that question, let's take a quick commercial break, okay?
Great.
Well, folks, we'll be right back after this message from our sponsors. Don't go away.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot 2.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm George. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm Metro.
Hello, my name is Seven, and I am Metro.
My name is Chris, and I am Metro.
I am Michael Barretto, President and Founder of Metropolis Passenger Logistics, and we are Metro.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot 2.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJ.
Welcome back to Rainmakers Roundup. I am your host, Mark Iorio, and I have with me today Brian Zaslow and Gary Kurtis from Seal the Deal Sales Coaching, franchise coaching. Love it. So we're right before the break, we were talking about Brian's the youngest guy here on the set anyway.
Doesn't always happen.
Not in the studio, but on the set.
Right.
So, you know, there's a passion that you both have about doing this work, and it's kind of cool to hear that you both love what you're doing. And you know, it's kind of a, you know, you bring both skill sets together, and then you go out and you help organizations that really need your help, because let's face it, you don't want you want them to succeed. Right? So where's the passion coming from?
For me, it evolves from what I've always done. Sales is really ultimately finding out what someone wants or needs and helping them to get it. I always love that concept of that's what sales is all about.
Yeah.
And I also felt that I did really well in sales because I've always been a very competitive individual. And sales gives you the opportunity to look and overcome challenges. It's a great feeling when you can overcome it. So I always had that passion, and when my corporate life ended in 2020 and I started my original sales coaching business, I really wanted to provide the same passion to my clients. I wanted to be able to do everything I could to help them to be successful, and I had that same desire and same commitment to look at them as my new challenge.
Yeah.
And to help them to be successful. And now moving into what we're doing right now with Seal the Deal sales coaching, it's very, very easy because you look at the challenges that they have, and it's so exciting to be able to help them to overcome some of these challenges.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And Brian, you know, as you had this career in marketing and advertising, and you're also an adjunct professor at Temple, and you know, you have the same basic passion for, and I love what you just said, by the way. I love the idea of being competitive and finding solutions to problems, because that's what it's all about, right? In business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I guess from my point, Mark, is that I guess I'm at the phase of my career and my life where it's time to give back. And I've been very fortunate. People have helped me throughout my whole career. At all different phases of it, people helped me to achieve what I've been fortunate enough to achieve. So now I want to help other people. And I think that I derive so much joy when I see people that can say, yeah, or the light bulb goes off. And they say, I understand that now. And you can see it has a tangible benefit to their business. Same as in my class. When I see students that understand concepts and can then translate them into something, it's really enjoyable to me, because people help me along the way, And I want to be able to continue to do that for people.
Yeah. The other thing I love about this is that it's a really specific market, right? You guys are in a very specific market.
Yeah.
I'm sure you both have heard, if you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one.
Right.
And in your case, you're selling to a very niche market, which I like is,
Correct.
you know, and that's really what's going to make you both very successful in this process.
Yep.
What do you say to that?
You're 100% correct. I mean, marketing is all about target marketing, and we have clearly defined the market. We continue to validate it, and it's really nice when you can help people with specific problems that you know that they have, that they
Right.
finally acknowledge that they have,
Yeah.
and then you're taking all the knowledge that you have from the many, many years that you've been doing this, and you can help them to get to where they're trying to go. It's a
Yeah.
tremendous amount of
Yeah,
satisfaction.
yeah. Are you seeing a lot of the same issues popping up when you're talking to these franchisees?
Yes, I think that there seems to be some common threads that go through that, in that they are looking for a process, and they didn't understand that there was a process to what we do.
Okay.
And we're finding in many cases that they need organizational skills to be able to plan how to sell and understand the cycle that's involved.
Yeah.
And also the process is that there's people who crave the information we're finding consistently
Yeah.
that we have to offer.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it's becoming something they didn't know was out there.
Yeah.
So that seems to be what we're seeing most in cases.
What's the future hold for Seal the Deal sales coaching? Because it seems to me, because you have this process,
Yeah.
that you can almost franchise this in a way, or productize it in a way. Yes.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, nothing's ever out of the
We haven't thought that far
out of the
out.
reach, but I
Yeah.
guess where we are right now, Mark, is that we've taken this year, as I said, Gary said we were deliberate in terms of developing our value proposition,
Yep.
doing our due diligence, and we've also been deliberate in this first year in terms of the clients that we've brought on, because we wanted to make sure that we can prove out our model, just as franchisors do.
Sure.
When people come to validate their business,
Yeah.
they want to have a proven model. So we want to make sure that as we work now with franchisees, we can go to emerging franchise brands and say, here's the proof that it works. So that's really what we've done. We've been very deliberate and precise, and have really worked towards measuring results and making sure that we have a good story to tell. And I really believe we do now,
Yeah.
to be able to let franchisors know that we can really help their franchisees make more money.
Yeah, yeah. Would you do anything different? I mean, if you started this earlier, maybe that is what you do differently. But if thinking back, would you change anything?
I don't know what we would change really.
Well, I think maybe spend $1 million in marketing. But we've really self-funded this and have been successful with that so far. But
Yeah.
to talk about how you're talking about scaling it, we really haven't done that type of thing. But
Yeah.
no, I think that we've both enjoyed this process we've gone along.
Yeah.
And I think that the way we've gone about it, I wouldn't change too many things.
Good. I think that you know, yeah, it may be premature to talk about the future and scaling it up and so on, but I think when you look at, you'd mentioned franchisors earlier. At some point,
Yeah.
a franchisor is going to see what you're doing.
And that's our ultimate goal, Mark. We want to eventually get to the franchisor.
Yeah.
Because we have so much to offer them. If you're the franchisor, look, they love collecting the royalties. That's how they make their money
course.
after the initial investment.
Yeah.
But most of them don't want to necessarily be babysitters. They don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
So what we offer to them is the ability to help their franchisees to drive those royalties. And the other thing we feel very strongly about is that once they see the value, it makes them very, very, it's like a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
So when someone's looking to buy into a franchise, they're looking at a lot of, franchise consultants are going to show them a lot of options. And if they go to a franchisor and the franchisor says, look, what separates us from some of the others you're looking at is we also are directly linked with this great sales training program, which will increase the likelihood of you being successful.
Yeah.
The other franchisors are not going to
Yeah, they don't have that, right, exactly, yeah.
So it can really help them.
All right, so as we wind down the conversation here, fellas, what advice would you both give to a person coming into the franchise world, getting ready to buy a franchise? I mean, there's so many things to look at, but what advice would you give them?
I mean, for me, it's to really recognize that you have got to have selling skills if you're going to be successful.
Yep.
I always talk about how selling skills is also directly linked with confidence. And you have to have confidence in your ability, and all of that ties together. And it's totally unfair to expect that anybody's going to come in and they're going to have these skills if they haven't had the experience, they haven't had the training, and to simply recognize that that's the case.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's normal, and we're there to help them.
Yep.
Franchising is a wonderful industry where people can be very successful buying a franchise or being a franchisor. If someone's looking to go into it and be a franchisee, I really suggest that they do their due diligence, do their homework, talk to as many franchisees in the systems that you're interested in as you can.
Yeah.
Ask them what the typical day's like. Ask them what are the skills needed to be successful. And ask them, talk to the good ones and talk to the ones that maybe have been challenged and understand the differences between them.
Yeah.
And then once you are a franchisee, don't think that you have to do it all alone. It's nothing wrong with asking for help and getting people who want to help you succeed.
Yeah, good points. You mentioned earlier that, at this point in your career, you like giving back, right? Think about the person or people in your lives that have been inspiring to you. Who has done that for you, Gary? Anyone come to mind that has been an inspiration to you as you've?
A lot of it has been a lot of the mentors that I've had in my career, in my sales career.
Yeah.
They've been very inspirational. And obviously I'm very motivated I'm very close with my family.
Yep.
I have 2 wonderful children, 4 young grandchildren, and a wonderful wife. We've been married 45 years. And that, all of that is important.
That's great.
At this point.
That's great. Brian?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I started my career a few years ago, and the first company I worked for was a very small marketing department. It was a bank here in Philadelphia. And what was great that I learned in terms of what they did was gave me an opportunity to succeed, but they also let me fail and didn't make it the end of the world if I did. And I learned from that you have to try, and it's okay to make mistakes. And the people that kind of inspired me were those that trusted me.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of those along the way that gave me an opportunity when others couldn't.
Yeah.
And that's something I really appreciated.
That's great. Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate you being here.
It was great.
Why don't you tell everyone how to get in touch with Seal the Deal?
Go to sealthedealcoaching.com and you will get all the information you need. You'll see myself, you'll see Brian, and you'll get everything you need. Please go there.
Excellent, excellent, terrific. Thank you both very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, that is a wrap for Rainmakers Roundup. Thanks so much for joining us. Check out Gary and Brian on LinkedIn. They're there as well, right?
Very much so.
And new post on...
I've got a new post for our new client.
New client. Terrific. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.